please like and subscribe. And please don't do or take anything I say as fact. Do your own research, because that would be silly to just go off of what I say. Hey guys, so today I want to talk about the Vril. So what is the Vril?
Life force energy called Vril. The Vril society was found in 19th century, was deeply connected to a hidden tradition that sought to tap into the energies of the universe, what they called Vril. In occult circles, Vril isn't just a word, it's an esoteric force. This secret society believed that by understanding and channeling Vril, one could transcend physical limitations and access profound spiritual power. It was thought to be a force of cosmic transformation, capable of healing, manifesting, and even controlling natural elements. Vril was seen as a form of magic, not bound by the conventional laws of physics, but rather aligned with the higher laws of cosmos.
Very conscious when they're conscious, but they're also very robotic. But the Germans are just as robotic. So this entity system picked Germans as its attempt, even in World War I, World War II, and it was manipulating the Brits as well, and offering them technologies, but two different paths. One was social control and all this other stuff with the Brits. The other was high-tech weapons, systems, interdimensional with the Germans.
So in 1919, the Thule Society, or Vril Society, and the Lords of the Black Stone, okay, and that kind of reminds me of Black Rock, which is not good, rented a small hunting lodge in Germany, and Maria Orsic and another medium, Sigrun, they attended, right? So now the mediums claim to have received telepathic communications and transmissions from secret German Templar script, okay? It was written in a language unknown
contacted
to her.
Extraterrestrials from the constellation of Taurus, who gave them, through automatic messages. One was a message in Templar code, allegedly. One was apparently ancient Sumerian writing. And one, which was really quite special, was the blueprint for some form of flying saucer. What was interesting was attending that particular seance were Nazi engineers.
Technology, but also esoteric thought, which is very interesting. It is as if these people discovered something so new and so different from everything there was before that they could only resort to certain esoteric phrases in order to describe what they had found.
Now, with Hitler, he tried to join an alliance with these beings so that he could then harness this supernatural power. Okay, the whole idea is it said that Hitler did succeed, and he did not actually lose the war, that he actually won because he was able to then continue living on in another body type of stuff. And this being ultimately soul scalping, body snatching.
There's a paraworm that doesn't just infect the body. It enters the eye and replaces the host. It is ancient.
Basically, you see lots of celebrities and you see them with black eyes. Some people think it's just like it's just what happens whenever you get initiated into Illuminati, but it's a little bit darker than that.
If you open the door for the enemy to come in through whatever it is that we're doing, the attributes of the devil is to steal, to kill, to destroy homes, families, children, business, just everything.
Transfer his consciousness from his body into another body. And he would leave the body that he like stone boxes for 100 years while it recharged itself and rejuvenated. While he said he walks amongst men, but unlike a man.
What?
Yeah, and he would do this for eons. He would transfer from body to body, not bodies he stole, bodies he created that he created himself through.
I'm impressed. Flattery will get you everywhere. I'm not here to flatter you. I'm here to save you. What just happened? Mr. Ash, dream of having an eye exam lately? Yeah, how'd you know? You've stepped to the edge of the looking glass.
So then, that means I wasn't dreaming.
He uses the name Vril, which means like God when it's translated in Hebrew, which this is to be believed as an energy which Grants uses to the host, which is ultimately it's like a worm or a serpent, but when it's removed out of the actual lizard, if you would, or reptilian being, it's basically the brain and all of the central nerves that connect into making that reptilian its whole being. Basically, when you pull it out, it's in like something that looks like a worm, which they then put into your eye, and when it wraps around the optical nerves, it cuts and severs off your communication with God. Being said, let's talk about how we're living in the new Babylon. I believe we're living in the new Babylon because that's the only thing that makes sense. Babylon trades of body parts and soul fragments.
See America as being the only option at this point for a modern day Babylon, where we literally fit the bill for a modern day Rome.
I think it's pretty interesting if you do a search for Babylon in the United States, it takes you directly to New York.
On the wall that says the Babylonian court. The camera shows you the stage and you see an unmistakable Tower of Babel embedded into the design. Outside of the Kodak Theater, you have the gates to Ishtar, and you have Babylonian gods put on the outside of the gates. They have the exact elephants. They have the same exact gate of Ishtar. They have the same exact Babylonian gods over the top of the gates. My brother, making me the highest paid megalomaniacal boy king in all of Babylon!
He's here tonight.
Good evening, godless sodomites.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing the truth, John. We're in Hollywood, the belly of the beast.
You can't just read the prompter?
I'm reading the prompter in here. You can read that, Pablo.
Reality television celebrates the human condition.
It warps the minds of our children and weakens the resolve of our allies.
We're here to honor achievement in that category.
By giving you a golden idol to worship. Kneel before your God, Babylon!
Industry, which you must understand is, when you do sell your soul, you are allowed to live forever. And these people that are called youngins, like I was, had no idea that these people still live. They will prey, haunt, kidnap, anything to stay on top.
This top cap thing on the top of their head comes out. They can do this once in their life. It pulls their spinal column along with it. The human would have to be restrained or unconscious. The thing squiggles in through the eye. It does a spiral around the optic nerve all the way to a certain point, and it's driven there by taste. And they said once it gets there, it has the taste of butterscotch. It then starts what they call sweating the quilt. The spinal cord stuff comes out of the spinal cord, and it's everything that the lizard is. The lizard's whole body is dead, and it can't go back in. It's one way. The juice that's in the spinal cord gets excreted out of the tip of this thing. They're parasitic cells. The parasitic cells go into the brain. The old person's consciousness is gone. The body is absolutely, totally dominated, and the lizard is smarter as a human.
Ritual within the elite? Well, as I usually do on my channel, let's expose the truth. Most conspiracy theorists believe that this is an initiation into the elite through assault by punching the individual in the eye. But stick around till the end because I'm going to tell you exactly how much more sinister it actually is. And I know this for a fact because I was offered it earlier this year. Long story short, I designed a product that was inspired based off biblical scripture. Finally found a team of investors who were willing to invest, but under very strange circumstances. Long story short, I turned down a $5 million deal from these investors. Simply put, the lead investor was a perv and basically said that in order for this deal to go through, I also had to drink what is called the golden juice, which I'm not going to go into detail here on TikTok. But the other portion of the deal was I was not allowed to promote what this filtration system was doing to the water. But since I didn't sign the contract, I'm going to speak freely about exactly what this does. The minerals that I've implemented into this filter design is specifically towards a very specific type of parasite, which is known as the hidotid worm. And the word hidotid comes from the Greek word hidati. And the inspiration came from this Bible verse right here, which is Matthew chapter 3, verse 11. And this is what the parasite actually looks like. This grotesque parasite literally lives inside your water and can easily find its way into your body. Now, this is the part that they don't want you to know about. They are not being punched in the eye, they are literally injecting this into their eye willingly. Inject this parasite into their eye, and then it forms around the eye and then goes all the way back to the brainstem and essentially takes control of the host. And this is not a new practice, this is an occult practice that goes back to even the elites within biblical times. And it stems from Job chapter 4, where God is basically warning about this worm. We're starting in verse 20, the womb shall forget him, the worm shall feed sweetly on him, he shall be no more remembered, and wickedness shall be broken as a tree. Hence the tree filtration system. He evil entreateth the barren that beareth not, and doeth not good to the widow. Esoterically speaking, in reference of coming out of the fecal matter and into the brain. He draweth also the mighty with his power, he riseth up, and no man is sure of life. Because it's literally a parasite that is slowly unaliving you. It would be given him to be in safety, whereon he resteth, yet his eyes are upon their ways, as they insert this evil parasite through the eye. I wasn't willing to sell out for this nonsense.
A draconian, Vril powered parasite, a reptilian, comes into the left eye and within 2 weeks kills the soul of the person it's inhabited, but takes over their memories and their consciousness, and it appears as though these people are not going through an initiation. They're not being punished for anything, but they're notables and people of influence. Now, we don't know this, but surmising why these individuals would have the black eye, why they would have the reptilian consciousness.
Frying them up. These are what they call drones. They're parasited hosts of the lizards. They like to make them. The only thing a drone wants to do is make more, have sex, and torture someone. Like, it's a different kind of mentality. Some people say when they hear about something that on the news, someone wanted to chop up somebody down in their basement and eat them, they're like, how can a human being think something like that? And the thing is, it's because it's not a human being. It's a parasited host of a human being from this lizard. They do this lizard thing a lot in a lot of different countries. It's not just an isolated thing, and these things walk around all over the place.
Hollywood-related music business. What do you think it is that makes people like this?
No knowledge of who you are, and then when you do have knowledge of who you are and they tell you that that's not who you are anymore because you're the state's property. See, when you give up your skin, you give up your vagina, you give up your mother eggs. They're taking our bodies. Body snatching means just that. So when you give up your generation by giving up your uterus, it is something called neglecting yourself of yourself. And when you don't know yourself anymore, you're going to want to die. Period. You know, if I'm in the body of something that I never knew was possible, and other people don't even know this is possible, and I can't say about it, and I'm supposed to kill somebody in this body too? Oh, yeah, I would be depressed. I would be doing dope. I would be doing all kind of stuff every day because I put myself in a position to allow things to happen to me. All I have to do is just stay true to who I was.
Family that I've seen described online. I don't know if you describe it this way, but you come from a family that people describe it as Illuminati family. Mm-hmm. Is that how you would describe it?
That's not how I would describe it in the same way. I'll be honest. I think it's just a popular catchphrase that a lot of people are borrowing into. No, I come from a family that they believe they are descendants of the old gods. That's the best way to say it. That they believe that they are carriers of a seed line that gives them the divine right to rule. And that is what gives them justification spiritually, emotionally, psychologically, scientifically to dominate the lesser species known as humans. Humans literally means a lesser species of man. And they do not believe they believe they are something other than. And that's descendants of this hierarchical ruling species that is from the celestial realm that descended in the days of Jared and came down and procreated with the daughters of men. And that they...
I'm broke as a joke. But I don't care. I don't care because there's something happening and I feel it a brewing and I don't know what it is. But I'm like, I think I'm on the right track.
Because what I'm seeing is authenticity.
I miss my dad. I miss my mom. I miss my life. The life that I freaking did for this freaking career. I have no husband, no kids, and I have no money. Was it worth it?
Do you think there's a level of fame that is just too dangerous for this?
Yeah, if you don't drink the Kool-Aid, you don't drink the gold juice. So I was offered the gold juice 3 times in my 20s, my 30s, and my 40s.
Pee?
The gold juice that I will live forever and I'll have whatever I want. The gold juice. You never offered the gold juice?
No, I'm I'm a scumbag comic. I'm a scumbag comic. What's the gold juice?
I don't know, but I didn't drink it and I didn't want it. And
Is this
I noticed when all the girls, certain girls on Orange, changed, like it's all a real thing, and it's scary because they send like people after you, and they can like kind of moonlight as like a friend or, and they're wolf in sheep's clothing. And listen, you can have everything you want, all the fame in the world, all the money. I'm like, what if I just drank it for the night? You know what I mean? Like, what if and I don't know what it is. If it's a metaphor for the gold juice, like,
if there's a tincture that makes you younger, I better know where. You better let me in on this.
Vril recognized Vril.